How long did it take us to get to $1,000 in our 3D printing business? Stick around, and today I'm going to talk to you about that and a couple other items when it comes to how we started our 3D printing business. Welcome back. My name is Ashley, and this is Design and Forge Studios Print to Profit. Let's get into it. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I really just want to sit here and have a chat with you about how anybody can start a 3D printing business. For me, I run a bakery out of my house, if this is your first time watching us. And I have been doing this successfully for 5 years. I have built it to a six-figure business with completely no knowledge at all, just from watching YouTube videos and learning as I go. For the last year and a half, I kept thinking that I wanted to get a 3D printer. But in my mind, I said, you don't know how to do 3D printing. You don't know how to model. You're not going to be able to learn it. It's too technical. It's too difficult. The printer's going to give you a hard time. If you can name an excuse that has to do with creating the files and the printers, I came up with that excuse, even though I knew if I got a 3D printer, it would actually really add to the bakery because it allows me to make custom toppers in all different themes for my cakes. Fast forward to December 2024. And again, the idea was on my mind. You should get a 3D printer. And finally, I took the leap during the Boxing Week sales. Now, funny enough, the first printer I purchased, we don't actually have anymore. I didn't do a ton of research prior to getting that first printer. What I dove in with, now it's a great machine, but it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. I had first purchased the FlashForge Adventure 5M Pro, so it was fully encased. Big machine, great machine, terrible bed adhesion, but maybe we'll save that for another video. And in the beginning, I was off to the races. I really loved it for the first few weeks. I quickly regretted not having done a little bit more research when it comes to the multicolor prints and the capabilities of those and how they could open the doorway in the bakery. And now of course, wanted to have a 3D printing business because I immediately fell in love with that printer. Fast forward, I ended up ordering the Bamboo A1 with the AMS, and I sold that FlashForge 5M. Now, in terms of expenses, we're into the business at this point for a good $1,000, right? Probably a little bit more than that because I was starting to get more filament than what I needed. We needed to start making some money to bring back into the business so that I could help to pay for that machine. How did we make that first $1,000? Quickly taught myself how to make custom keychains. And I made a whole bunch of custom keychains in the beginning. Yes, $8, $9 a pop, but they can really add up, especially my niche gearing towards moms and their kids. They're a great thing to add to a party favor bag. Really easy addition for them at a fairly low cost. I was making a whole ton of custom keychains. We also did gaming controller stands for PlayStation, Xbox, all just one color, easy to print, right? But people love having something special to make the remote stand on, and moms love having something organized for their kids' remotes to stand on. Another really big seller for us in the beginning was the custom toppers for the Stanley mugs. People love being able to have their names on there or a certain image or logo, whatever it might be. We did a whole bunch of those in the beginning too. And all of those things were really great to be able to make while we're trying to work on our skills and also learn more about these printers too. The biggest thing about this is that this was all done locally. Most of it was done through word of mouth because the thing that I have done in my bakery and have transitioned it into this business as it's worked really, really well is I like to give away something for free when I first start doing it. When I figured out how to make the custom keychains and the Stanley cup toppers, what I did is I made a couple free for some people in town. And I said, hey, maybe you can post it on your social media and just give us a tag. Especially when it comes to the Stanley toppers, those couple tags really blew up. One person alone that I had made one free Stanley topper for led to over 40 orders of the Stanley custom toppers. I know some people will say It's a waste of money if you give things away, but I gave away one $8 item and got 40 back in return. Maybe you don't think that that's a good payoff, but for me, that is an excellent exchange. And again, it's something I've done in the bakery. Every time I introduce a new item, maybe it's chocolate covered Oreos as an example. I'll make a few free chocolate covered Oreos, give them out in my VIP Facebook group or a local moms group, and just ask if they like them. Maybe they'll post about it. And not everybody does post about it. There are definitely some people over time, quite a few people, who have taken those freebies and not said a word. And that's okay. That's all a part of the game as well. But our first $1,000 was made in just 7 weeks, locally, mostly through word of mouth, and by starting off giving away a couple freebies. Maybe some of you are thinking 7 weeks is a long time to get to $1,000. In my opinion, 7 weeks is pretty quick to get to $1,000 in a brand new business built from absolutely nothing when you're making $8 and $9 items, especially to start with a few higher end remote control holders in there. I think some of them were priced around $44. All this goes back again to what I've talked about before and the power of customization. People love anything custom, whether it's for their kids, themselves, their hockey team, or for a business looking to do something for their customers. If you can do anything that's custom, that is the thing that's really going to set your business apart from somebody else who just turns a printer on, downloads a file from Patreon, sends it to print, and then uploads it and hopes that it sells. What did we do when we got to that $1,000? Well, we added a second A1 with a second AMS because then we couldn't quite keep up with the number of orders that we had coming in. It was time to reinvest some of the profits that we had made. We now had paid for the first machine. We had a little bit, not much left over, but it was time to then dive into getting a second machine so that we can start to expand the business and take on more orders at once. Now, the tough part is trying to figure out how to expand in our existing space. This is a very small space. The room is probably only about 5.5 to 6 feet wide, and the side I'm not showing you has all of my children's toys. Somehow I need to figure out how to use this space better so that we can continue to expand our business. The only other option for somewhere to add more printers would be over here, probably to put a table that can come down because we need to be able to access this room. Has a sump pump in it. If you don't have a sump pump in your house, it's just to help with water backflow. But that is the only space that we have. But we need to be able to fully access that door. When I added these shelves in, they actually are on brackets that fold down. So if I ever needed to, I can take everything off of the shelves and the shelf itself will fold flat against the wall, which is very convenient to have. But again, we don't have a lot of room to grow within this space. If any of you have any advice on what we can do to better use this space, I am absolutely open to it. I do think we can probably get another mini on this desktop, but I don't know that I want to get another mini. I feel like I would rather just get another A1 in full size other than the mini. But that's still stuff to figure out on another day. For now, I just need to work on organizing that space better and figuring out how we can grow within the means that we currently have with the 3 printers that we have. And if I know anything, I know that come the fall, everything is really going to ramp up because I know how busy the holiday season gets in the bakery. And I know it's going to be at least the same in the 3D printing business, maybe better. That's what I can hope for. That is going to do it for today's video. It's a little bit different, a little more just me kind of sitting here talking to you a little bit, giving you a little bit more of an insight into what has got us to this point. We are only just over 6 months, about 7 months into our 3D printing business and journey. I would love to know in the comments below how far along you are in your 3D printing journey. Some of you probably have way more experience than I do, and I would love to hear your comments and your tips about your 3D printing business. We are a very new channel. We are battling an algorithm and trying to get going And I would absolutely love it if you could leave us a like and a comment, and even more so if you hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for sticking around until the end of this video. And until next time, happy printing.